Hello guys, and welcome to today's daily puzzle magnetic playgrounds. Let's get right to it. So what do I see? Well, I see a lot, and at the same time I see nothing. Meaning that I do notice that our queen and bishop are connected and are somewhat looking at their king. But sadly though, it's the bishop in front and not the queen, so we can't do anything with that. In a similar fashion, I do notice that their bishop and queen are connected and looking at a pawn that could give a check on our king. But we have plenty of defenders, meaning that even that threat means nothing to us. So what does that leave us with? Well, I also notice finally that they have a knight over here that's completely hanging and that we have a pawn that can move forward attacking said knight. Now obviously they can simply move the knight out of harm's way, but while they do so, we actually have a follow-up trap. Because at this point in time, their queen over here is being locked in a decent amount. How so? Well, obviously by its own pieces, but even more so by this bishop over here that's preventing this escape square. Obviously they can't move over there because their own piece is over there. They can take this pawn, but as I just showed, we have plenty of pressure going on that square. If they move over there, then obviously this pawn can take. If they move over here, this pawn can take. Similar fashion for this square. If they move over here, that happens. And that's about it. Meaning that at this point in time, they do have quite a few free squares to move in, being these three. But once we move this pawn in and their knight has moved, we actually can safely move this knight, or rather this bishop over, and eliminate some of those squares. If they had brought their knight over here, well, obviously we simply would have won the knight. So as we try to do that, that obviously isn't the right answer, because by doing so, we do alleviate some pressure and also prevent our queen from showing her full potential. So instead, because, well, obviously this is a strong move, but it's only a preparation move and doesn't apply any pressure, allowing their queen to move freely, evading all that pressure on her own rhythm, or even by going for a desperado and forcing some exchanges. So instead we are going to use this pawn and actually apply some additional pressure on the queen, which she is forced to deal with. The only way she can deal with it is by moving forward or to the side, because all other squares are actually covered by our pieces. And now finally, well, obviously this is covered by our queen. This also covers this square. These are both covered either by the other pawn or by our queen. This is covered by our queen as well. This is covered by our queen. This is covered by the pawn. This is covered by this pawn. This is covered by the bishop. The pawn is doubly covered by our other pawns. This is covered by this pawn, and this is not covered. Same for their queen. So meaning that we only have two squares that aren't covered yet for the queen's positions, and that we have a bishop that can conveniently slide down, covering all those squares. Well, the move is obvious, right? We bring the bishop down under cover of our own queen, trapping the queen. They do go for the desperado trade, but we simply take back and are in a complete advantage. There we go. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and hopefully see you next time. Sorry, this video was a bit confusing. It is a lot to take in, and I do try to keep my videos as simple as possible. I hope you enjoyed it, and bye.